Another good resource in finding primary source documents from the Revolutionary time period is the Massachusetts Historical Society. This is the website masshist.org. If you go to it, you can find a whole bunch of different resources. This particular example is looking at the annotated newspapers of Harbottle Door. If you click on this section down here, it will bring you to a series of newspapers that this guy, Harbottle Door, actually kept and wrote on. He annotated on it. And it's just a good resource. So if you click on this, it will take you to this following screen. Here what you can see is these are all Revolutionary era newspapers, and you can either browse or search through this collection. What I did was I went ahead and clicked on Browse by Year or Title, and this brought up the collection, as you can see on this next slide. Okay, you can see here that you can then further browse by volumes, by dates, or by newspapers. For most of you who are working in this time period, the dates are going to be the best way for you to kind of browse. By this point, you know the time period around which your event took place, and then you can kind of take a look at that and see what you can find. I clicked on 1775 and came up with the following screen. As you can see on this slide, it just gives you all of the newspapers from 1775, and they are weekly, they weren't daily. And you can see throughout this whole thing that you can just kind of browse. You know your events, you know the time period in which you need to look. You want to go ahead and consider that there's a lag in the time an event takes place and the time when stuff is going to get published. It is difficult to decipher some of these newspapers because they are written in the old type where the F's and S's are very similar. But it's often worth it because you can get a good sense of what's happening. Pay attention to bias. These are going to tend, I think, to be mostly Whig or pro independence papers, so there will most likely be bias in here, but they could be very helpful to help you get an understanding of what was going on in the time.